everybody, and welcome to vlog numero dos. And now you might be thinking, Madeline, what are you doing? Where are you? I'm currently by my fireplace. I'm going to clean the fire. I'm going to make some warm, cozy music content by a fireplace, because why not? Trying something new. As I said in my last vlog, I moved back to my parents' house in December, and so oh god, that's hot. I got some boiling hot water with soap in to try and clean the door, but that's really hot, so I might have to just wait for that to cool down a little bit. Yeah, so I moved back to my parents' house in December, as I said last vlog, and I've been making full use of their fireplace. I literally come down here all the time to the fire room and just draw and chill out by the fire. If my friend Helena comes round, we always chill by the fire here. It's so nice. So I wanted to make some social media content, but the door, she was looking a bit crusty dusty, so let's see if this will help her out. Hope you all are okay. I released a new song. I don't know if you've had a chance to listen to it yet. It's called My House. It's very different to my other stuff. It's like very much my musical roots, I guess. I trained in musical theatre to begin with in my teens, and I've always loved musical theatre and big power ballads and big female power ballads in particular. And so yeah, that's what that song is. I love it. It's my mum's favourite song so far, so I'm very glad that she likes it. I hope you are all enjoying it. Yeah, that song, that was a funny song. So the first chorus of that song I came up with it while I was driving. I was driving through this tiny village in East Sussex called Alfriston, and I was listening to some poetry in the car, because late night driving, sometimes I don't want to listen to music. It's nice to almost listen to a bit of ASMR poetry. And there was one particular poem that came on that was all about preserving your own personal space and not letting people in your space that are draining you. And I was like, oh, what a good idea for a song. And then literally the melody, it sounds so artsy-fartsy to say, the melody literally just came to me. I was like, because this is my house and you don't talk to me that way. And I was like, oh. And so there was no one around. It was I want to say 10 o'clock at night. And I pulled up onto the curb so I didn't get, no cars coming past. I wasn't blocking any cars coming past. And I just voice memoed that. And then the song kind of grew from there. I knew that I wanted it to be, a big female power ballad. And I love artists like Whitney Houston and Christina Aguilera. And I've actually seen Celine Dion live at the O2. It was either the O2 or Wembley Arena, I actually can't remember, with my mum a few years ago. And that was phenomenal. And so it's super inspired by that. The song, the actual structure of that song was pretty simple to write. I kind of wrote all of the lyrics in one evening to it, because it's very self-explanatory. I knew exactly what I wanted that song to be, and then I recorded I wrote the chords, so I recorded the piano, then just built on top of that. It was a very simple song to write, to be honest. There's nothing experimental about it. But what was difficult was the vocal melody that I wrote. That was a lot of practice to get that right. I knew exactly what I wanted to do and I knew I could sing it, but yeah, that required a lot of practice. I'd say it was 3 full days worth of rehearsing that song to get it vocally to a point where I was happy to then record it, especially the end bit. Oh, and during that whole process I ended up lowering the key by 2 semitones for the whole thing, because it just felt like way more comfortable for my voice, and it felt like that's where it sat more naturally. The song originally was going to be all in the key of the end chorus, you know, where it changes key. Yeah, it was all like originally, yeah, going to be there, and then I moved it down because it felt a bit nicer in my voice. Yeah, and then yeah, it was just a case of getting all the other instruments recorded, which was quite a simple process. And then the only hiccup I had towards the end was the opening felt a bit sparse, like where it's just vocals and piano, and I'd got it, like all the other instruments I'd got to a point where I was really, really happy with, but I just kept listening to the beginning being like, something is missing here, and it was really upsetting me because I couldn't figure out like what it needed. It just felt like slightly flat in energy, and then yeah, I was getting really wound up by it, and it got to about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, it just needs some like jazzy R&B backing vocals, that's all it needs. And yeah, so it's 4 in the morning, both my parents were asleep, and I was like, right, I'm gonna record something, and because this is frustrating me so much, whatever it is gonna make it onto the record. And yeah, so that's what I did. And then the next day I sent it off for mixing and mastering, and then that was a bit back and forth, just making sure I got all the levels and effects and everything right. And yeah, it was cool. I'm very, very happy with it. It's very different to Take the Hint and to Finally, but I think that's a good thing. I think all of my stuff is, I hope this is working. I don't know if it actually is doing very much. Well, it's getting a bit dirty, so, but yeah, I like that about my stuff though. I think everything I release is just all going to be slightly different from each other. I've got such a privilege where I'm not like attached to a record label, and I'm not attached to like a management team that are, you know, trying to tell me to pick a lane and stay in it, because that just feels so boring to me. And I feel like if I constantly made the same music over and over again, I'd just get really burnt out. And because I'm such a creative person, I have to just create what I feel like in the moment. And if I was trying to always recreate something, like I've had a few messages from a few different producers and A&R reps about Take the Hint, saying like, oh, have you written anything else that's similar to Take the Hint? And I kind of have and I kind of haven't. Like, I'm not going to try and copy Take the Hint because that song works so well, and I don't feel like I could copy it in a sense. I've written other songs about like how much I hate work. So like they're similar on that level. But yeah, where am I going with all of this? Yeah, let's chat about what's going forward as well. So yeah, released My House, very happy with that. I am now in like content making mode, unfortunately, because as an independent artist, you have to do everything yourself, which I'm not complaining about by any means because I own 100% of my music, so, which is the way I'd always have it. Okay, I've got this door as clean as I'm gonna get it. Let's actually build a fire now. Okay, fire building time. We have the matches, we have the safety gloves, big boys here, and all wood, which you can't see, but you will see. Oh, whoops, Daisy. So, what's next? Well, I'm hoping to get some gigs in my area. I work at a members club in my area. I live in the south of the UK, and I'm talking to them at the moment about doing a jazz night there, so that's going to be real fun. Me and my best friend Helena are putting on a networking event at the beginning of March to try and meet some more young creative people, because there's not many young people in my area. It kind of sucks. It's like such a retirement area, but it's okay. They're going to be somewhere, and that's why we're making the networking event. And yeah, in terms of what songs are coming next, or I'm going to be making lots of content tonight, lots of singing stuff, so that should be up on my socials. And yeah, in terms of the next song, well, I set myself a challenge at the beginning of this year. Don't forget the fire starters for those who cheat. Yeah, in terms of what is coming next, I set myself a challenge at the beginning of the year to release a song a month this year and just see what happens. So next song I think is actually going to be a bit hip hop, which you haven't heard from me yet, but I love hip hop. Hip hop is so fucking cool. It's called Good Little Girl, and it's basically a song about wanting to escape the male gaze, because as I've like, so I had a 2-year relationship that ended in January, so literally like only a month ago, and I've thought a lot about that relationship like since it's ended, and I've sort of realised like how much I was doing for the male gaze, like dressing and acting, more like acting, and sort of like what I was saying that yeah, like all was sort of fed the male gaze and, you know, trying to keep men happy. And so it's a song about trying to break free from that. So I'm very excited about it. It's not finished yet, but it will be, and that will be March's release. And now let's try and ooh, see if we can light this bad boy. Let me bring the camera around here. She is lit. She got lit. I am basically a cave woman at this point. I can build a fire. The fire is done and burning very well. I'm now gonna film some content for my TikTok and my Instagram, and I really need to start uploading it to YouTube Shorts. I just always forget that YouTube Shorts exists, because I actually hardly ever go on YouTube. It's not really like too much my thing, but yeah, I really need to like post on there. Yes, I'll see you for vlog numero 3 whenever that shall be.